Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Rustbelt Collector here, and this is my third, I think my third haul video in an entire month, which is very uncommon for me. So if you're new to the channel, you just subscribed or something, don't think that this is a common thing, because I don't typically get a bunch of hauls, but it just luck has had it that I've had hauls and I like to make videos about them. So here we go. For today's haul, I went to the Columbus Toy Show hosted by CTS Promotions. First time ever going to Columbus Toy Show. It was a blast. Really nice, large scale show with a lot of different vendors, and I got some decent figures out of it. Mostly from one vendor, but you'll see it as we get into it. But yeah, went there, had a good time, and here is the haul. Starting it off, we got Motoro, the Bionicle Motorin named Motoro. I guess that would be kind of like a human being named Huma or something. I'm not totally sure, but this is one of the cool little McDonald's toys that came out around the time of the very first Bionicle comics, and I absolutely love their design. I love the color of Motoro. He's one of my favorite Motorin, and then he also becomes a Toa later in Bionicle lore, and I loved his design for that as well. So I had to get this one. I've been wanting to complete the line of these McDonald's Motorin, and finding this guy for I don't know, a couple bucks at the show was a stroke of luck, because I love the Bionicle line and I'm really happy to get this guy in the collection. Next up, for a grand total of 50 cents, I got this amazing Mace Windu figure. I can't really remember if I had this version already. If I do, it'll be good custom fodder because it's a really nice Jedi body, so I could just swap the head out, swap the hands out, and make it into any Jedi I wanted, I guess. But yeah, it's a really nice figure. I don't know exactly which line this came out in, possibly Saga Legends. It has to be more recent because it's got the nice soft goods tunic. It's got a really nicely detailed face as well. And overall, yeah, for 50 cents, I'm not going to complain. It's a really nice Jedi figure. Lots of potential there to either have a Mace Windu or some other Jedi. The articulation is actually really nice for a Jedi figure, and I appreciate that they took the time to give it some soft goods there. You don't always see that with Jedi, especially in the older days when everything was just like a cast piece of soft plastic, which didn't really work for high mobility, high posability with the Jedi. So I really appreciate this, and I like it. 50 cents is nothing to complain about when it comes to Star Wars figures, so you're not going to find deals like that every day, but when you do, you're happy to find them. Next, I got quite a few Galactic heroes actually at a single place. It had they had a bin of Galactic heroes, each for $2, and so I grabbed these. So two 187th Mace Windu troopers. I thought that they were just cool. I didn't really pay attention. This one has a lot of wear, like here on the arm there and here on the hand. Probably wouldn't have gotten this one if I'd paid closer attention, but this one looks just fine. It's got a little bit of wear on the hands, but not too bad. I mean, after all, these were kids' toys, and so they probably got beat up quite a bit. So we got two of those. We'll put those over there with Mace Windu, where I think they kind of belong. And then we also got the 212th Trooper, so he can go alongside my other 212th. I'm not army building these guys or anything, but for $2, I figured why not. And then I'm really excited for these two. I finally tracked down, from the same bin, I tracked down Boss and Fixer. Sadly, Boss does not have his backpack. I know that's quite common, but Fixer does, and that's really great. They had another Fixer, and I kind of regret now not getting it, because I think I could have painted it up to look like either Scorch or Sev, and it would have been nice to try and kind of complete the squad, since they never made the rest of the squad members in this line. But these figures are really cool for what they are, as just kind of clunky, chunky kids' toys. I really, really like them. So we got Boss here kind of just single-handedly blasting a DC-17, which is kind of, I mean, it's pretty boss of him, you know, he's pretty BA, as it were, and he's cool like that. I wish he had his backpack, but oh well. And then we've got Fixer. I absolutely love the pose on Fixer. For a, again, very chunky kids toy, they actually got him posed in a pretty cool battle pose. Though you can, I guess, have him putting his arms up, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, he holds that pretty well, and the backpack does come off, but it's not lost. Thank goodness, because again, I know that these are quite common to be found without the backpacks. And maybe someday in some random lot I'll get a Boss backpack and I can complete those too. But for now, I'm still happy with them being the way that they are. Now I should preface this next thing with just Where the heck are all the Halo toys at toy shows? I've been to a couple toy shows, I've been to numerous toy stores, and it's very uncommon for them to have McFarlane Halo figures. Now I can remember as a kid, they were pretty well stocked in stores. I don't think that they were, lacking in that department. They were as stocked as Star Wars figures back in the day. But I go to toy shows and toy stores and I can't find McFarlane figures, especially from Halo 3. That is my all-time favorite line from the McFarlane Halo figures. I've been trying to get more of them. I only have like one or two right now, and I never find them at shows. It's like I only can go to eBay, and then you're kind of hit or miss with quality and prices. But so in my desperation to find something Halo related, I picked up this. I think it's from a loot crate. It's just like a loot crate statue. It's two Mark V Spartans going at it in like a game of Slayer, and they actually come off the base. They're just kind of pegged in there. They're a little bit like bobbleheady. They're not like accurately sculpted the way a McFarlane figure would be, but I figured these would look nice on display. And you can, in fact, if you wanted to, you could swap them out. They're the same. They're obviously the same sculpt, so you could put the gray one where the white one is, and vice versa. But I thought, what the heck? I got to get something Halo related from this show. I don't have enough Halo content on this channel, and I'd like to do more. So, yeah, there's that. We'll stick this right back here. Move some stuff around so we get a nice thumbnail of action figures from this haul. And then the final thing is rather a significant haul from the Ohio Toy Nerd or Ohio Nerd. I can't remember what your tag is, dude. I'm sorry. I met him at a show down in Cincinnati like 2 years ago, and so I'll leave his link to his YouTube and stuff down in the description. He's a really great guy, and he always has a fantastic selection of modern Star Wars figures. Not like the vintage stuff. He does have some vintage stuff, but he typically has one of the best selections of loose modern Star Wars figures from 2005 to the modern vintage collection line, and I got some great figures from him this time around. And first up we have the Covert Ops Clone Trooper, one of my favorite designs that I don't army build, I should say. It's, like the Kashyyyk Troopers I love, but these guys I love as well. And yeah, this is my second one, so now I have two, and I think two is a good number for Covert Operation Troopers. I don't necessarily think I'll ever army build them. They are harder to come by, but I felt like I needed more than one, so now I'm happy. I've got this guy, and he's absolutely awesome looking. I love the camouflage, the sparkly armor, the purple highlights, which is so unique. Yeah, and he does have two blasters. He has his DC-17, or DC-15 rifle, and his DC-15 carbine, which is so cool. So there's that. I'm very happy with that one. Next up, we have an ATTE crew member, I believe, from the Clone Wars from 2008. I always love these guys' designs just because I'm kind of a sucker for gray clone troopers. Again, always the more realistic colorations for clone troopers just get me when it's like a green or a gray instead of bright red or bright purple. Running into battle with those colors doesn't seem very practical, so the gray clone troopers always fascinated me. We never saw these guys in the Clone Wars, unfortunately, but their design must have been done somewhere in concept art, and Hasbro took it and ran with it and made a total of like 4 of them in a battle pack, I think. I can't remember exactly, but either way, really cool figure, nice patterning, nice design, and I love it. I don't typically collect a ton of the animated like 2008 Clone Wars figures, but I do have a select few, and that is now one of them. Speaking of the Clone Wars, I now have another step closer, I guess, to completing my Tartakovsky Clone Wars series. I've been trying to get every single one of the realistic and animated Clone Wars figures, and another step in that direction is getting the Scuba Trooper, which I'd seen so many times incomplete, without the flippers, without the backpack, without the blaster. Something was always missing, and I finally found it at his booth with all of the accessories. Let's see if I can get that flipper in. There we go. And yeah, so I was very happy to finally get that. That was one that I'd been looking for quite a while. It's not an expensive figure, it's just hard to find with all the accessories, because unlike a typical clone trooper, he doesn't just come with a blaster, he comes with a backpack and a blaster and flippers, and all of those can easily be lost. So we finally have the Scuba Trooper in the collection. He will go up on my Tartakovsky shelf, and he looks amazing. If I ever get the shirtless Kit Fisto, which I will eventually get, I think he may have even had him in his booth. Ohio Nerd may have had him in the booth, and I didn't get him because I'd already spent a lot of money at the show, so I had to kind of limit myself. But if I ever get that Kit Fisto, I might get a second Scuba Trooper if I can to kind of flank him on the shelf. You know, I'm one of those people that might, I don't know, I've always liked it having like two of a trooper, one commander for every legion, or two troopers and the Jedi General for every legion, depending on which legion it is, of course. But, you know, for the Scuba Trooper, having two of him with the shirtless Kit Fisto from the Tartakovsky Realistic line, I think it was just called like the Clone Wars line back in 2003, but I had to differentiate. If I got those, I'd want to put them together in like a little display. So anyways, there was that. And then as per my new tradition, which is to always get one of my 3 army builds at a toy show, I actually got 2 of my army builds. The same army build, I got 2 of this guy, I guess this one would be the Legacy Collection version, but they also came out in the 2-pack with the Order 66 2-packs. This is the Yellow Bark Trooper, sometimes called a 327th Bark Trooper, but I don't know if that's technically accurate in terms of legends or canon, but this is one of my 3 army builds, and my tradition is to get at least 1 clone trooper from each of those army builds at every show I go to, and then I'm going to put it on a base and write underneath it where I got it and what date I got it on. So this is another one to add to the collection. It's a Bark Trooper, and like I said, I did get 2 of those, so there's 1, and here is 2. Nothing to really, there's no difference here, except that one actually has the antenna, and this one does not. No big deal, though. Actually, okay, so that one is the Legacy Collection because it comes with the antenna and the unpainted minigun, and this one is the Order 66 one because it's got the painted minigun. I can't remember. I might have that backwards. One of them came with the painted minigun where it's got the paint on the barrel, and one is just like that where it's just cast in all black. I don't remember exactly which one is which, but either way, I got one of each. So one is from that pack and one is from the single-carded release, and I love it. I love having another army builder, and they will add to the collection most delightfully. And I will say, out of the 3 army builds that I'm doing, the 41st Landing Platform, the Order 66 Kashyyyk Trooper, and these Yellow Bark Troopers, I think the Yellow Bark Troopers are like second hardest to find. I'd say the Kashyyyk Trooper is the rarest to find in the wild. These guys are probably second rarest, so very fortunate to find those. And finally, I'm very happy that I found these. Yeah, I was looking for just one of these. I was hoping for one of these for my new gunship. If you didn't see the live stream a couple weeks ago where I got the Tartakovsky Clone Wars gunship, the Tiger Shark gunship, I finally got it, and I was really happy to have it, but I decided that I needed 2, and these rubber bands are still attached, which is awesome, but I decided that I needed 2 of these pilots to pilot it. These are like the Tiger Shark pilots in their Phase 1 armor. They have the removable helmet with the Bodhi Taylor head sculpt underneath, but so I found one at Ohio Nerd's booth, and I was like, okay, gotta get one at the very least. It's too cool to pass up. But he had a second one, and so I got the second one as well. Again, he did cut me a deal on buying all these from his booth. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I now have the 2 pilots that I needed for my gunship, and these guys are going to look so cool in there because, I mean, I could have gone with the Phase 2. I know the Phase 2 might work better, but I think the Phase 1 pilot is really one of the best designs for clone troopers, and these are the ones that just go along perfectly with the Tiger Shark. So now I've got that complete as well. That was something I was not expecting to find at the show, but extremely happy to have found it, you know, to actually have found it. And yeah, I'm not complaining one little bit. I did spend a little bit more than I was expecting to spend, but in a good way, I got 2 army builders, I got the gunship pilots that I needed. I can't stand these guys up apparently, but yeah, it was a good trip. It was worth it, and this is the haul. It was pretty good. Some Bionicle, some Halo, some Star Wars, all good. All 3 of my like main collections, and I absolutely love it. But anyways, that is where we're gonna wrap this video up. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, that kind of thing. Down in the description, there's a link tree. You can check out my Instagram where I do toy photography and I post just random stuff from time to time. It's a good place to keep up with the channel for sure. Also, there's a link to Entertainment Earth in case you want to order or pre-order any new figures coming out. You can do that through that link, and it does help out the channel a little bit, so I do appreciate that. I will also leave a link, not in the link tree, but I'll leave a link down in the description of this video to Ohio Nerds or Ohio Toy Nerd. Again, I can't remember what your I can't remember what your username is, dude. I'm sorry about that, but it's down there. You want to check out his YouTube channel. He does stuff surrounding all the different toy shows he goes to because he travels quite a bit, and so you'll see him around and you can see tours of all the different shows that he goes to, and it helps you decide if you want to go to those shows. You know, if you see like a walkthrough and it looks interesting, then you might decide to go to that show. So there's that. Check him out there, and yeah, I think that's it. I think I hit all the points. So as always, thank you for watching. Be kind to one another and have a wonderful evening, noon, or night. And as always, I will catch you all in the next video.